Irvingman, watches shows sitting on his can. Tells a story, tells a joke, monetizes cause he's broke. Look out, here comes the Irvingman.
Peter is heading to Professor Smarter's house. Who's Professor Smarter? Somebody who's smarter than Peter, I guess. He must be a big deal of some kind.
Phew, only the chance to work with Dr. Smarter would bring me out in this weather. It must be at least 95 degrees. Whoops!
Now he knows it's 95 degrees because he just slipped on all 95 of them. Inexplicably, things all over the neighborhood start freezing into solid blocks of ice. Peter grabs a few pictures for Jonah.
Help! Help someone!
That came from Dr. Smarter's room.
Why are you looking at us? You're the one with the superpowers.
Help! Help someone!
The professor has gimpy joints like I do, and the cold is driving them nuts. That thing may also have something to do with it, but we can't be sure. I'm sticking with the sore joints theory.
Spiderman, save me!
So much for doing it the easy way.
Walloping web snappers. I'm being bombarded by icicles. Come on, you overgrown ice cube. Just give me one opening.
One opening. Okay, there's a door opening for you, and he'll leave through it. Spider-Man will take a little time to make sure Dr. Smarter is all right, then go look for it.
And there in the frozen wastelands, your friendly Spider-Man spots his, whatever it is.
Yeah, the problem is, if he can see it, it can see him.
The tower, it's turned to solid ice. What? This is no place for me.
Are there people in there? And why isn't that question occurring to Spider-Man?
In the middle of a heat wave? Ice skating in Central Park? I haven't got time for bad jokes. All right, Parker, what are you trying to tell me?
Well, I know this will be hard to believe, Mr. Jameson, but...
It's hard to believe, but he has the photographic proof that what you heard on the phone is true.
Jameson here. What? An iceberg? In New York Harbor? Well, what are you waiting for? The iceberg to melt? Get out and get me some pictures.
I just handed you pictures. And what have you done for me lately?
I think I'd better check out that iceberg as Spider-Man.
Dodgers in the 24th and a half century.
After he gets some pictures for JJ, he heads to Dr. Smarter's place. Maybe if they can figure out why that thing came after him, they can sort out what this is all about.
It's a wild thought, but I'd say my visitor would be perfectly at home on the coldest planet in our universe.
Pluto!
If Pluto is the coldest planet in the universe, it seems to me his universe is kind of small.
They got him! They got Dr. Smarter!
The professor had a fire going in his fireplace, so Spider-Man will have to wait for its warmth to melt the ice holding him. From there, it's logical to guess that those critters took the professor to their iceberg. Time to go bust in.
But first, there are a few adjustments to make on my costume. There. They won't freeze me again with this heating unit. And an extra special device for my webbing. And now for a visit to the iceberg.
Spoiler, he won't need any of it. That's the only iceberg you'll ever see with a metal keel and a propeller. Oh, there's a ship next to... Never mind. He finds a convenient vent of some kind and makes his way in.
That was some elevator ride.
Imagine what kind of ride it would have been without the elevator.
That's what I've been looking for. I was right. They did bring Dr. Smarter here.
No, Spider-Man. They're friendly.
I told you he wouldn't need all that stuff. They are indeed from Pluto, and they communicate by telepathy, but you have to open your mind to receiving it. They can't, or won't, invade your head. They're not Psychor.
My fellow Plutonians and I were on our way back to Pluto when we were forced to land on your planet for repairs. We were instinctively drawn to the one we knew could help us.
And now we know that Dr. Smarter's field is alien spaceship repair. He teaches it as an elective at the university.
I've been working on a space warp control, and now I have my chance to test it.
Isn't it a remarkable coincidence that A, they also call their planet Pluto, and B, they just happen to use a system like the one he's been working on? They must be the luckiest critters in the universe, as well as the coldest.
You've done it, Dr. Smarter. Your space warp control is working.
And it was so clever of you to disguise it so it looks just like a standard fuel-burning rocket. That way evil spies won't be interested in it. Peter can present Jonah with pictures of a flying iceberg that became a flying diamond. Jonah's flipping his lid. Betty has a different perspective.
Next time you see a diamond flying around, Peter, grab it for me. After all, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
As I mentioned, Peter and Betty had a thing going around this time. She was essentially his first love. If you read the Wikipedia article about Betty Brant, there are a few inaccuracies surrounding this time period. While it was true that she stopped blaming Spider-Man for her brother's death, she couldn't get past his involvement. The article says Ned Leeds came along after Peter and Betty broke up, but that's incorrect. He came on the scene while their relationship was strained by the presence of Spider-Man in his life. Peter was still hanging on to the idea of having a future with Betty, even though it was clear he was losing her to Ned. When Leeds asked her to marry him, Peter brought up Spider-Man. He fully intended to tell her his secret. But she interrupted him and said she could never let Spider-Man into her life because of her brother. That was when Peter finally got the message, it's over. But all that is future. Right now, their love is blossoming like a dandelion in the middle of a perfectly manicured lawn. And we discovered we have friends on Pluto. Since the professor's machine works so well, I'm sure we all can't wait to go visit them. Just remember to pack your long johns. Why are you looking at us? And they communicate by I can say Pluto. He teaches it as an elective at the slow down. Blaming Spider-Man for her brother's death. For her brother's Beth.